down to Biscayne. Yeah. 5 on the floor. Ride for my dogs. Where here's the thing, you can check the score. Hustle hard, couple scars, wearing rubber frauds. Just like Butler said, you in trouble, y'all. Kept the floor playing, got it all banned. Y'all seen the block, stop with one hand. And Pat we trust, inspire, have the guts. We're here to bring the heat, y'all can hang it up.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, and Alex Toledo, plus others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Welcome back to the latest episode of 5 on the Floor post-game. I am your host, Greg Sylvander. Tonight's floor plan with me, we have Eternal Bast. You can follow him on Twitter at Eternal Bast. We also have Gadiel Cartegena. You can follow him at Gadiel Cartegena on Twitter. And other platforms as well. You can also find both of these dudes along with myself on Playback. Download the app, watch Playback. It's super fun. So come and check that out with us. We're gonna dive into this Miami Heat game. They won 104 over, or they won over the Charlotte Hornets 104-87. It was also Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame celebratory evening. And it kind of stole the show, y'all. So let's dive right into the Insurance by Lynette, aggressive play of the night.
And now it's time for the Insurance by Lynette play of the night, sponsored by insurancebylynette.com, an aggressive insurance agency. You can reach out to our friend Lynette at 954-581-8800. That's 954-581-8800, or insurancebylynette.com. That's insurancebylynette.com with 2 N's and 2 T's. Your best play for auto insurance, homeowners insurance, condo insurance, life insurance, or a retirement program. Reach out to Lynette at insurancebylynette.com.
So the Heat won big, and I know that everybody probably wants me to pick something from the game, but no, I know that y'all don't. The aggressive play of the night, Insurance by Lynette play of the night, and I'm going to set this up here, Eternal. I'm coming to you here in a minute. So they celebrate Dwayne Wade and him being inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is customary. They add an extra piece to the banner where your jersey is retired when you reach the Hall of Fame. This was now done for Dwayne. The play of the night was Pat Riley came out onto the court to make an announcement amongst the interview that was happening between Jason Jackson and Dwayne Wade. Awesome stuff. Especially when they're showing the montage going all the way back and Jax is like there from the start. Super cool. So the fields are activated, right? And then Pat Riley walks out with a bobblehead and says, what else could we put up around here? What else could we put up around here? Let's put up a statue, and announces that they're going to put up a statue. We went crazy on Playback. The fan base went crazy. Super cool announcement. That is the play of the night. Pat Riley, it goes to you. And here's a really cool little sidebar to this. Before the game even started, during pregame on Playback, our friend Eternal, who's with me on the show, he said, y'all know Pat or somebody's going to come out and announce that they're going to do the statue. And I shot it down so quickly. I minimized it. I said, that's crazy. They would have had a press release. They would have done a whole campaign around it. We would have heard about it. Hashtag Eternal was right. Eternal, what did you think about this statue announcement? Because it stole the show on what was a nondescript game otherwise, although we are going to dive into it. But just initial thoughts on the statue going up for Dwayne Wade. First from Eternal, and then we'll go to you, Gad.
I don't think you can ask for a better way to announce it. Like, no one had any kind of intel on if they were thinking about it, if they were going to do it. Like, the fans, the media, we've all been asking for a Wade statue for the last few seasons. And so I just can't think of any better opportunity, which is why I was like, man, I feel like if they're going to announce it, they're going to do it right at halftime. You know, they're going to come out and they're going to surprise everybody. And, you know, I think that not only was a testament of just wanting to do right by Wade, but I think there's also a testament of like the Miami Heat just being very, very tight-lipped. So it's not surprising that they were like, didn't tell a soul that that's what they were going to do But when you step back and look at the forest and, beyond the tree, it makes sense. Like, we didn't hear anything over the last couple of seasons. So they had to know he's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so when we raise that banner, when we add that patch on that banner, we'll announce it then. And I just think,
chef's kiss indeed. Gad, what pose should the statue be? What Dwayne Wade, is it that "This is my house" on the scoreboard? Is it the dunk in Dallas from the finals? Which one is it?
Ooh, that's tough. I think you probably go with "This is my house," and then if you can possibly, because when I think of Dwayne Wade, I think of like a couple key moments. You think of like that Game 3 in Dallas, right? And then you think of him throwing that ball up as well after winning that series. But what I think of is the "This is my house," and I would love for him to have those shoes on that he had when he was playing those finals in Dallas, like the black with the white sneaker, like the white toe box. Just so clean, first and foremost. That's one of the things that just always struck me about Wade is those shoes are super cool. Saw them all throughout travel basketball growing up. I think I want them to do "This is my house," though. It's just one of the most iconic celebrations we've had for any star ever in NBA history. And for that to be ours in Miami, huge 8-foot statue outside of the arena, which has desperately been needing some sort of like commemoration of the winning culture that they have. For it to be D Wade, for it to go up, it's going to be awesome, man. Like, that's going to be a special day for the Miami Heat.
It really is. Some renovations that would come along with the statue would be super dope as well. And who knows, maybe we're going to start to see those, get going and come to completion eventually as well. But this was a super cool night. I was completely taken aback and off guard by it. Just because I didn't expect them to announce it this way. I thought it would have been a planned out campaign where they do a bunch of marketing behind it and this and that. And I should have known better. It should have been as clear as day. We all kind of thought eventually the statue would happen, but we didn't know exactly how it would happen and when it would happen. And Eternal, you called it. And so hashtag Eternal was right, lives on. But let's dive into the game. The Miami Heat won 104-87. This is a Charlotte Hornets team that's just bad. I mean, like, I don't think we're going to overdo what the impact of this game was, but the Heat took care of business. Particularly, they shot well from three. They held Charlotte to bad percentages across the board. They hustled Charlotte in the first half considerably. The second half was a lot closer. And they actually even turned. So they lost the rebounding battle, 17 offensive rebounds for Charlotte. And they lost the turnover battle, but I think a lot of that was them just getting a little sloppy in the second half. So this was a game that ultimately they got the victory. Eternal, I'll come back to you on this one. As we look at this game, what was the biggest thing that jumped out at you? I kind of want to save the Jaquez stuff for the injury report, but just overall, as we look at the minutes distribution, the way that guys played, what we saw from both teams, anything really stick to your gut on this game, or is this one of those that we're kind of everyone's focused on football?
Well, I think if anything, everybody was focused on. Well, I don't think everybody was focused on the Wade statue and just a beautiful night of Wade. But one of the surprising things of the night is that the Heat had 25 plus points, transition points.
Whoa!
So. I mean, there's something that's to be surprised about, but it's the Charlotte Hornets, man. They scored 31 points in the first half, and then they scored 31 in the third quarter, and then just kind of fizzled out in the fourth. But Miami was able to right the ship in the fourth quarter. You had Tyler Hero back, you had Kyle Lowry back tonight. Even though he didn't play the second half because of Jaime had 15 points in the first quarter, and I caught myself. I didn't spoil it. But Jaime had 15 points in the first quarter. I'm going to pass the ball again.
Let's just dive into the injury report.
And now it's time for the official 5 on the Floor injury report, sponsored by our friend Eric Rubenstein, the personal injury attorney. Born and raised in Lauderdale, Florida, lives in Miami, went to St. Thomas. He's a South Florida guy and a huge Miami Heat fan. But the important thing is he can help you get your money that you deserve when something happens to you. So reach out to our guy, Eric Rubenstein. Again, ericrubenstein.com, or ask about me, I got you, on Instagram. And now, the injury report.
We do not have to hold back any longer. Jaime Jaquez played the first half, balled his ass off. That dude was just killing folks out there. Did not return in the second half. It appears to be a groin strain. There was no word as to how he was doing, but that's not a good sign. And it's a bummer that the team continues to get guys back and someone else gets hurt. And maybe that's just the nature of the game, but it shouldn't be the nature of the game this damn often. So I definitely am in a little bit of if we're coming off of this game with anything negative, it's just the somber idea that Jaime would miss any extended time with said groin strain. I will tell you that Jimmy Butler's expected back tomorrow in Brooklyn, so that is a good sign. And then as well as Kevin Love, I think you'll probably see him out again on Monday, but you will have Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry back, so you'll be almost whole, but I wouldn't expect to see Jaime Jaquez. Probably won't travel. That is, again, speculation on my part. Now, let's go to the gamer of the night.
And now on 5 on the Floor, it's time for the Gamer of the Night, sponsored by Rock Esports Center, the place to eat, drink, and play all day. Host your next birthday party with them. Located at 15305 South Dixie Highway in Palmetto Bay. They've got a 5,500 square foot state-of-the-art center equipped with all the high-end power. Play all-day passes available for just $25, but if you mention 5 reasons, it's just $20. So mention 5 reasons or 5 RSN. You get to play all day for $20. And now, the Gamer of the Night.
Gad, I come to you for the ultimate assist. Who is your Gamer of the Night?
I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. I think there are players who played well, right? Tyler and Duncan played well. Bam Adebayo played really well, in my opinion. And understandably so. He's going against what is weak competition in the Charlotte Hornets. This game was more a testament of Charlotte just being flat out bad and the Miami Heat taking care of business. But either way, after what I believe to be a pivotal moment, a pivotal shot for Bam last game where he gets the game winner, the follow-up performance tonight, very impressive. 24 points, 10 rebounds, I believe, and 7 assists on 9 of 17 from the field. Efficient, effective, got the job done, led the team in a game where they once again needed a leader. He just continues to get the job done. So credit to Bam. He's been pretty consistent in terms of his impact. And I like the fact that he's being used as a hub as well. 7 assists. You look at, they had their quote unquote traditional point guard back in Kyle Lowry tonight. They don't have a de facto point guard, but Bam is the hub of the offense. He's the engine of the offense up until Jimmy Butler decides to go Mecha Godzilla mode. But until then, it's going to be Bam. They run offense through Bam. Bam makes things happen. Bam made things happen tonight, and they took care of business. Simple as that.
Love the Godzilla reference. Eternal, final thoughts on tonight's game. We are not going to dissect Hornets Heat on a Sunday at 6 p.m. When the Heat took care of business, the focus was on the Wade statue. Others are distracted by NFL playoff football. Your final takeaways from tonight's Miami Heat victory.
You know who earned some rest? Jaime Jaquez. So Jaime getting this rest kind of saves him a little bit from hitting the proverbial rookie wall. So he gets some time off.
Right.
Hopefully it's a week or so, where he, not saying I want the injury to do you bad, but just like hopefully they give him time to rest and get his legs under him, because you could see the last couple of games that he was starting to tire out as the game went on. And so he came out really, really, really aggressive and assertive in the first quarter. So I guess my thoughts would just be like, give him some rest. And obviously it's good to have Jimmy back tomorrow. Hopefully you have Jimmy back for a prolonged time. Again, we've only seen Jimmy, Tyler, and Bam finish 6 games this season. So you want to see more of them together, regardless of us being excited about Jaime, Nico, some other guys on the team. You want to see more of them together, especially as things are getting closer to the deadline and you start getting closer to the playoffs. So that's my takeaway from tonight. So hopefully they finish the game tomorrow.
That's a really good point in terms of getting those three guys, that it's more important that those three guys get reps together than basically any of these other guys we're excited about, and all the different lineup combinations and 5-man combos and 4-man combos and who's going to close and who should start and all this. It's really about getting Tyler, Bam, and Jimmy minutes together. I think we're going to see that starting in Brooklyn tomorrow night. Thank you, Eternal. Thank you, Gad, for coming on the show. Thank you to our sponsors, Rock Esports, Insurance by Lynette, that's A Aggressive Insurance, and Eric Rubenstein, PA. We appreciate your sponsors, or we appreciate our sponsors. We will have you covered for Brooklyn, Miami on playback and on the post-game show. So keep attached to your podcast feeds. We'll have you covered also on YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe to Off the Floor. That's our Discord server. You definitely want to be there. We're going to be chatting up Wade's statue poses probably for the next 24 hours. Good night.
Thank you for listening to the 5 on the Floor on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. After all, someone needs to listen to my dad.